Get out there, too.
I just want to show that dog. I just want to show that.
Oh. I'm like, oh, is it?
Yeah. What big a dog is?
Oh, he can get through that gate! Go!
Stop crying, Nana. Hold up. No. You can't get out right there. No.
Lord have mercy. Get your house.
Stop crying, Nana. Hold up. No.
You can't get out right there.
No.
Lord have mercy. Get your ass in the house.
Oh, my Lord. You know what? Listen. This is infuriating. It's embarrassing. It's infuriating. It's disgusting. And let me ask you a question. Is there anything more horrifying than the girl screaming, "Daddy, Daddy," while her father is up on the roof of a car and she's on the ground facing the pit bull, running, and he's directing her on where to run? You know what? Let's jump into our analysis of this video. I am Tonya TKO. I'm a self-love specialist and certified clinical hypnotherapist and life coach from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. I wrote a book of affirmation self-love available on Amazon for those of you who are looking for ways to rewrite your subconscious programming into self-love. This right here, listen. On this channel, we talk about loving yourself through relationship, self-loving, or self-abusing through relationship. And often Black men come up into the conversation because my typical audience member is a Black female, right? Oh my God. This video right here is so embarrassing. Talk about a worthless ass man. And you know what? This type of behavior, I would have to say, transcends race. And that we as women, we've really got to stop assigning characteristics onto people based on their race alone. Because this right here is a character issue. There's something severely wrong with this man. Inside of parents is ingrained this reflex to protect your child. Inside of adults, inside of people who are larger, is ingrained something in them to protect the smaller, weaker of the bunch. And I know that we talk a lot about hypergamy, protection, provision on this channel. This man is a bum. You know, look at him on top of the car with his back tooted up. Imagine if he was on the ground in that position. He's down there as the beta zeta dog himself with his booty up in the air, waiting for what? Another dog to mount him? I don't know what the hell this was that we just saw, but what I want you to do is I want you to rewind it. Put your headphones in and listen. At the very beginning of the video, the man is like, he's waving at the homeowner. And he's like, I just wanted my daughter to come see this dog. So he brought his daughter into this dangerous situation. And when worse came to worse, his bitch ass jumped on top of a car, bunked up and tooted up his own booty into the air and left his daughter down there to fend for herself. This is disgusting. I've never seen anything like this before. You know, I've seen where a man will try to shove his girl in front of him in some dangerous situation, which is bad in and of itself, but a defenseless child, a girl who is depending on him to protect her, to show her, to guide her. How will she ever be able to trust men after this? How will she ever be able to trust him? She's not safe with him. He brought her into a situation in which he abandoned her to fend for herself with an animal that was running to attack. So he knew enough. And you know what? It looked like he was, I don't know, rewind that part again. It looked like he was going to pick her up onto the car, but it looked like he got scared himself and jumped, and he's a grown man. I've seen, how many of you have seen the video of the lion at the zoo run up to the child, the baby, and try to gnaw on the child's head at the zoo, right? There's this thing in animals that they're going to go for the weaker of the pack, right? The smaller one. So anywhere that you go in California where it talks about, you know, wild bobcats or mountain lions, it talks about raising yourself up large, making yourself larger and wider as a human, because the cat is down there and you are up here. They will go for the smaller of the pack. So there is no, because there's a part of me that's like, oh, did this guy think that maybe the dog wouldn't hurt a child? But a dog, an animal down there, is less likely to try to hurt a larger being than a smaller being. This is embarrassing. You know, we have these stories. What this made me think of is the stories of courageous Black men who run into burning buildings, go in and retrieve people from burning cars, fight off attackers and stuff like that. And then we have people like this. We have cowards. You know, I've interviewed men extensively for research for my program. And a great portion of the men will honestly state, you know, we have paternal instinct, but our paternal instinct, the bond and attachment that we have to children, to our own children, is not as strong as the one that mothers have. I've seen video of a crocodile that was going after, and it was in the water going after a baby deer, a doe. And the female doe, the mother, ran up and threw herself in front of the crocodile. This is a deer, right? So when I interview men and they say, you know what, well, I feel an attachment to my child, but I know that it was something that I had to work on, that I had to build, and it's not something that came automatically. It was something that I had to grow into, etc. Now this man, who knows how close he is to this child? Who knows? Because if you listen at the beginning of the video, the man is like, he's waving. He's like, oh, I just brought her over to see the dog. And the woman is like, oh, I was like, who is that? Right? So is she saying, who is that little girl that he's with? Maybe he's not with her often. Maybe they really haven't bonded. But you know what? I'm just saying, you know, there are bums out there. There are cowards out there. This man is a worthless ass man, because I can imagine. Let me ask you all a question. How many of you out there think that he is stepping up financially? That he is head of the household and providing for his child/children and woman? A man who would jump on the car like that. Do you think he's a provider? We know he's not a protector. And ladies, you know, it's like, we know, it's like you don't really know who a person is until they're actually in this situation. So in this situation, he's probably revealed himself to be a coward. This video is going viral, right? Ladies, we've got to pay attention to early warning signs of potential problems. We have got to pay attention to how people behave. Yeah, this situation is unique. But how is he outside of this situation? I still hear that girl's screams in my head. Daddy! Dad! I still hear it haunting me. I can only imagine how he feels about himself being in this situation. I can only imagine what a loser he feels like. All of his... Because you know what it's like? We never know. We never know until it's that moment of truth. We never know what we may do. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he probably thought he was something more than he actually turned out to be. But ladies, we've got to be careful out there. And recently I've come into realization that, you know, We've really got to judge men on an individual basis. We really do. And we've really got to stop assigning both positive or negative characteristics onto people based on the group as a whole. You know what I mean? And I think that we really have got to look at each individual and see whether or not this person is exhibiting bitch-assness or things that give the hint of bitch-attitude to come. That way we avoid procreating with these bums. We avoid leaving our children in their care. I mean, look, I want to hear your thoughts below. What are your thoughts on this? This just disgusted me to my core. You know, listen, I used to be an advocate for Black love. I did. I used to be an advocate for Black love. But recently I have realized that there are some traits that are defunct in male kind, and that we as women, we've got to broaden our pool, and we've got to judge men on individual bases, and we've got to make our decisions from there. Yes, Black people have dominant genes. Yes, we do. And I can understand why Black women would want to have Black children. Yes, I can understand that. However, when it comes to creating a life, when it comes to having yourself be protected and covered and all of that other stuff, listen, I'm not going to advocate for a person to be with a lesser being just because genes are dominant. Not for DNA. Because this man should have been excluded from the procreation pool. Any man who would leave his child down there with a pit bull. And, you know, from what it is that I saw, you know, the dog didn't look like it did to you, like, because some of you may know dogs better than I know dogs. It didn't look like the dog really wanted to attack. It looked like the dog sensed some fear, and then the dog was like, oh, let me get out there, you know, maybe to kind of show itself or whatnot. Because if the dog wanted to attack her, she would have been attacked, right? But it seemed like the dog was really just kind of, I don't know, just kind of hype or something like that. I don't know. You all tell me, because I have heard about dogs attacking people. But it didn't seem like it wasn't like a and then a lunge. It was a bark, and then the dog went to go run out, and the child. But the man was frightened enough in that situation, but still left his child down there on the ground. And then he was running, telling her, go over that way, go over that. Never once did he try to jump down. All we saw was him tooted up on the car with booty in the air. I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted. Listen, I want to hear your thoughts below. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And give me your thoughts on this below. I really want to hear what it is that you have to say about this, because I'm at my breaking point right now, and I don't know if I can be saved and brought back over. I don't know. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is creating a happy, cohesive household with a person who is going to step up and stand in the mantle of manhood, or rest in the position of their femininity, and be able to be an addition to your family, not take away from it. Part of loving yourself is choosing partners. Love yourself through the choice that you make for who to procreate with, who to entrust your child's safety with, who to bring into your family tree. Has anybody heard from this man since this video went viral? This is embarrassing. Peace.
Thank you for watching. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, make sure that you subscribe, and hit the bell notifications to be notified of new videos. Leave a comment below, share the video, and come over to TonyaTKO.com to subscribe to my personal mailing list, and drop me a message of a viral story that you'd like for me to cover. See you on the other side. Peace.